Hello everyone, it is Kaiju Stuff here, and we are back with another Godzilla X Kong Playmates review. This one will be the regular Godzilla, because the last one we did was Evolved, so if you haven't, go watch it. But yeah, this one's the regular one. Before you ask, I have all of the figures besides Suko and Doug. They're just being hoarded until I can review them. But technically, I could have just made one big review, but I might as well milk some content out of this, get more videos out for you guys. Even though you guys could just got one video. But whatever, it's fine. I don't really care. I'm sure you guys don't really. Especially since I upload basically daily or close to daily. So, I don't know. I don't think it really matters. So, yeah, I guess let's just look at the box. And, yeah. So, the box, it's got, once again, a pretty nice render of Godzilla and Kong. Godzilla with heat ray. Beautiful, like, HD render, I guess, or just picture of Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. The Monsterverse. Legendary Toho Playmates 4 and up. So you can't give this to a 3.5-year-old because he will choke himself to death. Here we have, once again, I read this. I don't feel like reading again, but this little yellow box, Godzilla with heat ray. Let's see here. Harness the awesome powers of Godzilla's thunderous roar and devastating tail swipe as the king of the monsters battles other titans to maintain his rule. I don't know why, but every time I read the back of boxes like these, they use very weird wording. Even with like a Trendmasters box, they use very weird wording. Maybe they sound like more professional. I'm not really sure. But once again, got a pretty nice picture of the figure in the back with his heat ray, which is technically an atomic breath, but whatever. They got some pink crystals. And down here says collect them all. So I didn't collect them all, I collected most. A quote for Monster Island Buddies. So yeah, I have all these besides those two. Which if I do find them, I will be making a video about them. And probably discussing what I'm discussing now. Because I said I did not have them when, I guess in the future, if I do get them, which I really want them, I will probably be discussing this specific video. Anyway, so yeah, let's get this guy out of the box and really dive into him. Now I just want to show you guys how easy it is to put on the tail, because I already got him out of the box and put on his little skin flap, because there's supposed to be a scar there. Now I just want to show you guys how easy it is to put on the tail. Exactly, that's the point. For a child trying to do this, it's not too easy. But I just wanted to mention that. So I'm gonna put the tail on legitimately and actually get into this review. Okay, so let's actually dive deep into this. And if you notice something, or if you have deja vu, you might be saying, huh, that looks pretty familiar, but I don't have it because it just came out. Well, this is basically the exact same mold as the Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla. So, I'm going to do a little comparing and contrasting at the end, but for now, you could definitely tell it looks pretty similar. But, yeah, just stay tuned, I guess. One thing they did change was, articulation in the feet. Yeah, now there's articulation in the feet. And the tail is slightly more curved and harder to put on. But yeah, let's just dive right into it. So with the paint job, it's got a very basic black, which is fine because it's Godzilla. Then we got the blue, chalky blue, which I really, really like actually. It's a nice chalky sky blue for the dorsal plates. And it's got a little bit of deep blue for the eyes, which kind of look like the same color in this, but are not. Then the teeth are a nice white, some pink in the mouth, which, if you notice so far, most of the Playmates Godzilla figures have been mostly red in the mouth. I don't know why that stood out to me, but it just so happened to. The nails have a nice brownish gray color, I would say. So for articulation, the arms look like they're on a ball joint, but they're not. They kind of just go up and down. The basic, you know. And the legs go back and forth, because they can only go back and forth because there's like a thing of skin, which I actually like to kind of save the sculpt from looking weird. Here, got some feet articulation, which I already mentioned. And the tail, which is on a ball joint, but it's kind of stiff, if you notice. It's even making a little sound. So, oh yeah, of course, can't forget the mouth movement. So for the pretty much sculpt, I actually do really, really like this sculpt. For a $10 legendary Godzilla figure, this really is really good actually. It's a really good Godzilla figure for $10. Because I remember back in my day, there was only one legendary Godzilla movie, and that would be the 2014 one. And I just remember going on like Amazon or eBay even, and I would go on and I would see these Bandai vinyls, and they would sell for like $200. Even nowadays, I think it's actually gone up, but I haven't really looked because I have like the NECA one now, plus all these new legendary movies. Kind of just gave me new legendary Godzillas. But yeah. So for $10, this is kind of a steal. But the sculpt is really good because it's very faithful to the movie basically. There's not too much to really mention that I could really discuss in depth because it's really just a basic legendary Godzilla sculpt. However, there's one unique thing I will say about the sculpt. There's a scar here. If you peel back, this is made of rubber. Boom. His rib cage shows. How grotesque. But you know what? Might as well show it to the children. But, yeah, so say he's in a battle with, like, Mechagodzilla. And, Mechagodzilla shoots his laser, but it just barely misses Godzilla's innards. So it just kind of scrapes by him, hits his chest, and it all just kind of bleeds to death. But, yeah. So this is made of rubber. Kind of flimsy. Kind of hard to put on, actually, but not too hard once you really get down. So, yeah, let's go over accessories real quick. So in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of the accessories because it's really, besides this, which I think I could consider this an accessory, and it also has its own section on the box, which I find weird. I think it should come like pre-attached or something. I don't know. I find it weird that it has its own section. But really, this, it's pretty much a hard plastic, which the other ones like this are not. They're nice and rubbery, so you can put it in his mouth easier. But yeah, this is pretty bad, because it kind of looks like rock candy. Doesn't really look too good. I haven't put him, oh my god, I have not put it in his mouth yet, so, Yeah, that's it in his mouth. Not too bad looking, honestly, but on its own, you know what? Yeah, that works. I mean, it looks kind of bad on its own, but for a kid, it doesn't look that bad. Especially if you're just playing with it and not putting too much thought into it, and you just want Godzilla to shoot a laser, like, yeah, that would work. But on its own, and if you're someone like me, who is pretty standard to, like, SH Monster Arts, sculpting of breath attacks, and even the 2021 Godzilla had a better breath attack than this. And once again, I will compare and contrast in about 2 minutes, or 1 minute, or whenever I'm done ranting. But as for now, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but my idea could change. Yeah. So, let's compare it to some figures, and then we do the ultimate comparing with the Godzilla versus Kong Godzilla. Okay, so here he's compared to the Playmate Scar King and Evolved Godzilla. And what I really noticed is that besides, like, the body, the legs have the exact same sculpt, but these are a little taller. Other than that, like, the feet have the exact same sculpt. I don't know why that I noticed that, but I'm noticing a lot of weird things about this specific Godzilla figure today. But yeah, I think it's, in general, I think it's pretty good. Especially if you're a kid and you just saw the new Godzilla movie and you want a Godzilla that's not going to cost you a lot of money. This is a very good idea. So let's compare it to the final one, which will be the Godzilla vs. Kong Playmates Godzilla. And here is the final comparison. Now, wow. So there's really only one difference now that I'm looking at it, besides the paint job on this one, because I bought the one that was in the 2-pack with King Kong and Godzilla. It was like a 2-pack. Yeah, so there's weird coloring on this one specifically. But the only two differences that I can just see off the top of my head are that his tail is, in my opinion, much more cooler, even though it was harder to put on. And this one is a lot more straight and flat. And the second is his dorsal plates are translucent, which I'm not the biggest fan of compared to his chalky blue dorsal plates. I think these work a lot better. But yeah, I guess the feet have a little bit different sculpt, but otherwise, these are the exact same figure. So guys, technically speaking, you could just not buy this one at the store and just keep the one you have. But I will say this is a slightly better one in my opinion. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content in general. And bye-bye.